This is the Herd Line News.
So I hope the Bengals take an offensive line.
Well, then again, but they have a left tackle and a center they like. They need an offensive lineman, but they do have a good left tackle and a good center.
They didn't make some moves, but Joe Burrow's coming off of knee surgery after running for his life last year. So.
Totally. And that division's got good pass rush. Got
the AFC North.
Myles Garrett.
Got to be strong in the trenches.
Right.
Exactly. Another team I hope takes an offensive lineman is the Dolphins. But they had 2 picks in the first round yesterday. Their first choice at number 6 was Alabama wide receiver Jaylen Waddle, who will reunite with his college teammate Tua. And they also selected the first edge rusher of the draft, Jaelan Phillips, out of Miami with the 18th pick. You were talking about him yesterday.
Listen, I just think, I got to be honest with you, what they're really doing in Miami is they're getting dynamic players. Tua's not terribly dynamic, but these are 2 dynamic players on the perimeter. One a receiver, one an edge rusher. I thought Jaelan Phillips, and we said this yesterday on television, we said Jaelan Phillips, I'm being told, is moving up. Everybody had him late first, and I was told, no way. He's going to go right in the middle of the first round.
Well, there weren't that many edge rushers in the top of this draft. So, and that is a position, to your point, you get the quarterback, you get the trenches, someone to protect him, and then you get someone who can get at their quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the process.
Josh Allen twice a year. You've got to make him uncomfortable.
Exactly. So he had 45 total tackles, 8 sacks, and 1 interception last year. And Jaylen Waddle had an injury last season, but in the first 4 games, he had 25 catches, 557 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Came back for the championship game, had 3 catches for 34 yards. And the Dolphins still have 6 picks remaining, 2 in the second round. So the Jaguars got a familiar face for Trevor Lawrence with their second selection on night 1 of the draft. 25th pick, running back Travis Etienne from Clemson. I love this pick for them. It's the first time in NFL history a team has selected a quarterback and a running back from the same school in the first rounds of the common draft era. But Travis Etienne was a dynamic player in college, 168 carries, 914 rushing yards, 14 rushing touchdowns.
Good character.
Great receiving back as well.
That's the key. So he was not a great receiving back the year before in college. He came back and became a better receiving back. And by the way, folks, first of all, Urban has a history. What is the thing you can give a young quarterback, a rookie quarterback, to help him? Protection and a running game.
Yep.
So these people are saying, well, the Jags have a good running back. The bell cow thing doesn't work. You got to have 2. This is not college. You need 2 15-carry-a-game guys.
It's so crucial for a young quarterback, and he already has a relationship with him. I think this makes perfect sense. He had 48 catches, 588 receiving yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns last year. He broke the all-time ACC rushing record last season and set an NCAA record for most games with a touchdown. Like, he is a productive player.
Okay, so most people had 18 players in the first round as real first-round players. And then from like pick 19, 20 to late second, feel like second-round players. Both GMs I talked to had Travis Etienne 18th or 19th best player in the draft. So they got him at. So it was anybody that thinks it's a reach doesn't know what they're talking about. These are good GMs. This is a really good football player, a really good kid. And by the way, Trevor Lawrence now has an excellent wide receiver because they went and got one either last year or the year before from Colorado. Very clever wide receiver. Now they got to fix their tackles, but he's got 2 legitimate running back talents.
And they already know each other as well. And the Jags have 2 picks in the second round, the first one and the 13th, I believe. And then 8 left in total.
They got to get a tackle. They got to get a tackle.
So Devontae Smith was the 3rd receiver taken off the board. The Eagles drafted him 10th overall. Philly made a deal with Dallas to move up 2 spots to get the Heisman winner. He said he was shocked that the Eagles traded up for him, but he called it a blessing and is excited to get started. He obviously won the Heisman last year. There was a lot of questions about his size and, if he's going to be durable in the NFL, which is why he ended up being the 3rd receiver taken. But I'm actually not surprised that he was drafted this high. He is the Heisman winner. I understand his size, but he's incredibly productive. 117 receptions, over 1,800 yards, 23 touchdowns. The Eagles have 9 picks remaining. They're going to add him to a receiving core of Jalen Reagor, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Greg Ward, Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert. So this is just another weapon for Jalen Hurts. I also like that because obviously there were still quarterbacks on the board that they're sticking with Jalen Hurts. give him an opportunity and give him a weapon.
Well, we know by what the Giants drafted, the receiver, that the
they
Giants
were going to take him.
They were going to take Devontae Smith. So, and that had been in the New York papers. So, like he said, they said, listen, we don't want to face him in division. We want to have him on our team in the division.
Right.
So I get it.
Yeah. So they traded the 10th overall pick, and the Cowboys got the 12th overall pick, which ended up being Micah Parsons, which worked out perfectly for the Cowboys, and the 3rd round pick, 84th overall. But I really like this move for Philadelphia, and I like that they're committing to Jalen Hurts. Give him a year, give him a weapon.
Yes.
And I do think that Devontae Smith is going to be more successful than people think. If they use him the right way, he's a very dynamic player.
Oh, no, yeah. He'll work. Will he last? I think he'll work. He's too dynamic not to work.
I mean, I think it's all relative, right? Like, it's every player you're drafting, you're expecting to have a 15, 16-year career. No. If he gives you 6 or 7 years of high-level production, that's worth that pick.
There you go. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.